Ted, in your opinion, how much involvement should the Board of Selectmen have in the school committee's budget-making process?
Sure. That's a very good question. The rules governing Board of Selectmen are quite clear. I think that the Board of Selectmen should be intricately involved in the process, meaning they should understand what is going on there. They should have the depth of knowledge that the school board does, that the advisory committee does, if not for anything else, but out of curiosity and concern and their ability to do their job. The school budget and the school committee are all part of the same town. The school committee, by design, working with the advisory committee, goes through in detail their budget, and they present the number that they want to the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen should be familiar as best they can with the way the school budget school has come up with their answers, and then their job is to balance the budget. Where it's not able to balance the budget, figure out how to do it. The process is they then have to, if an override is warranted, which they've discovered that it is, and which they did last night at a meeting, they propose these rules to be discussed at the town meeting. That is their role in this thing. We are all part of one team. There has been, I have been concerned with the appearance of two teams. There isn't two teams. There shouldn't be two teams. There should be one team. We're all working towards the same goal. And I think that now that we have these numbers out there, it is in everybody's best interest, especially the selectmen, to move forward on funding the schools. And I think that's what they're going to do next.
Great. Okay, thank you. Roger, what's your opinion on how involved the Board of Selectmen should be in the school committee process?
I see it as the school committee is the Board of Selectmen for the school. And they make the rules, call the shots. The state says what we can and cannot do as a town and as a Board of Selectmen towards the school situations. They make their decisions, they spend their money, they can move money around. Nobody can tell them what to do or when to do it with their money. As a role of a selectman, as Ted said, they need to be apprised of everything that's going on, all the problems, all the issues, all the shortfalls, all the ups and the downs. And the advisory board tries to make sure that happens. The advisory board is a very, very, very important board. They scrutinize every single budget, not necessarily the schools, but all the departments. The schools take the longest because they are the lion's share of the, it's pretty split down the middle as to, it's actually 64% go to the schools, so they do have the largest share of the budget. It would be nice to be able to have more input as to what gets done. That's the school committee, and that's the Denise Walsh, the superintendent. But they definitely need to know what's going on, when things are happening, and more important, why things are happening. And I think that's part of the problem. There's not a very transparent wall between the Board of Selectmen and the advisory board and what goes on. The numbers come out and they get changed quickly, and it's a moving number, so it's a very, very difficult number to nail down. And there needs to be far better communication between all the boards, but especially the school committee. And I think the forecasting towards budgets will be a much smoother transaction. They've gone from $660,000 in utility bills last year to $900,000 this year. Well, there needs to be an explanation. Now, not that the explanation is not true, I'm sure it is, but they need to come forth and say, see, this is why it happened. Here are the bills. You know, obviously oil has gone up, and but by working together and being apprised of what's going on, I think it's very important. But the law says what the law says.
But Roger, that last question came up at the recent selectmen's meeting. I was a little surprised it was coming in up at that time, right before the decisions being made. why aren't those issues fleshed out earlier? There are liaisons on all these boards. Are people attending each other's meetings?
Yes, they are. Our board is very, very, very involved in all of these things, but the numbers are just so grand. The budget process starts, and we have about 6 weeks to go through $12 million worth of line items. And you can't get to all of them. And the benchmarking is a fabulous tool to have to point some of these shortfalls and you know, where we're doing well, where we're not doing well. Can we call this other town and say, you know, why are you doing it better than we're doing? We got the same system, but your numbers are coming out better than ours. And this benchmarking tool has just been in the toolbox for about 6 months now. And I hope we continue to use this as a tool going forward, because it would sure forecast the budget process much better.
And Ted, I have a rebuttal minute for you, but I have a follow-up clarification question for Roger, too. So,
Oh, okay,
so if
thank
you
you.
would rebut to this question, you have a minute.
Sure. I think, you know, as selectmen, I have a fiduciary responsibility to the town. I think that I don't ever claim to fully understand budgets. They are complex, they are cumbersome. From a personal perspective, I would attend as many meetings of other committees as I could, because I would want to understand the issues. I would not want any of these fourth quarter situations where we had last night, where there was, just for a lack of knowledge, a conversation. The process should have been on the track to happen last night. There should not been, at that point, in my estimation, that kind of dialogue. It was very clear the school committee had presented their budgets. The selectmen then should do their responsible thing, vote with their conscience, and the problem was, I think, that they just were not aware of some of the issues and some of the changes that had been going on.
Okay, thank you.